What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this video, I want to go over a pretty interesting statement from Neil Druckmann. There was an interview, actually several interviews being done today with him, and he just came out with an interesting quote. So let's just kind of jump right to it. Discussing film over on Twitter, Neil Druckmann says The Last of Us Part 3 might not happen. The actual quote from Variety. I guess the only thing I would say is don't bet on there being more of The Last of Us. This could be it. Now, I'll show you as I'm talking here what my response was on Twitter. I think it's a timely Ron Burgundy classic, iconic character, but I think that sums up the situation quite well, because I don't think there's a bigger liar on the face of the earth right now than this man, Neil Druckmann. Obviously he's got his haters, he's got his supporters. I think, kind of pushing that aside for right now, that statement, I just fully do not believe. There's no chance. Now, I will say, okay, to throw the situation a bone, it's not the first time he has come out with kind of talk that, don't get yourself too excited, or, we haven't kind of come up with it yet, or I don't know if I'll ever do a part 3. He's done that before. In fact, he did that when part 1 originally came out, right? That 1 was kind of designed to be a one and done type thing, which ultimately, looking back, might have actually been the better idea. Regardless, okay? The thing that I go to, and the reason why actually there's several reasons, but one reason I really just call BS on it, about a year or so ago, didn't he come out and say he thinks that he has the story for Last of Us Part 3? I'm 99.8% sure that he said something like that. So that is like one thing that just makes me feel, yes, there probably was a time, and maybe multiple times, where he thought, okay, 1 is it, 2 is it. But at the same time, he has definitely written a 3, and there's been more than enough talk, more than enough rumors, and he specifically has talked about it. So at this point, he's just kind of going back. Now, I guess it's possible that maybe he wrote something for part 3. He felt good about it, whatever, and then he looks at it, and when they're going to make it, he says, you know what? Nope, we're just not doing it. That is possible, I guess. That's why I said 99.8%. There is a percentage shot that he maybe dropped it, but I just cannot imagine or believe. And I guess the other thing, the other big reason, so you know where this came from, and I said Variety, but you know why he said this? You know what was the topic of the article? Was the show. And to me, and I've said this before with like Uncharted, it's what gives me hope maybe for like Until Dawn, Gravity Rush, Days Gone, these kind of PlayStation things. When they're making movies, when they're making television, I cannot believe they're dumb enough to just do that and let the games die. Now, I'm not necessarily saying we need a Last of Us Part 3. It's more, this video and what I'm trying to get across is more of an argument of why I just believe it's going to happen, for better or worse, okay? Like maybe it sucks. Maybe we don't need a Last of Us Part 3, but I do believe we're going to get one whether we like it or not. And I would say that, and I've been saying that, you can watch the other videos, for all of these things, I cannot imagine or believe that Uncharted does as well as it did, in the past, and then you make a movie, and for as far as we know, they're making a second movie. It's just taking a long time. And you're not going to do more games, or you're never going to bring it back. You're never going to remaster, remake, whatever. You're just going to let the Uncharted game franchise die, and yet you're milking it with movies. I will refuse, as of right now, to believe that they are that stupid. And again, it gives me confidence or somewhat hope for Days Gone, for Gravity Rush. You're doing a Gravity Rush movie. Is there anything? I know there's the rumors of like a Gravity Rush 2 remaster. Can you give us a third game? Something. Any of them. You can go down the list of any of these PlayStation franchises. Why pick Until Dawn? Why? Okay, they did the remake. There's the rumors that they're making a second game, though, right? That would make a lot of sense, because if you're going to make a movie on it, why would you make a movie to a game that turns 10 years old this year, and you're just going to not do anything with the game? And all of these games are the reason that these TV shows and movies are able to exist, right? So that is just why, for all of these examples, why I just don't buy that they're idle franchises. They're just not going to do anything with them. And I would say it's like double as true for The Last of Us. This has all the makings, right? He's talked about it before, that there is a story for it. There's been rumors for years now that is a game. Maybe, Intergalactic comes first, yeah, but that they're also doing The Last of Us. The Last of Us, I mentioned with the Uncharted thing, Last of Us is just a successful game. Again, like Last of Us Part 2 or not, the game did sell. It didn't sell, I think, as much as the first game, but it is a franchise that is enormous. It's a franchise that actually transcends gaming, which leads you into the TV kind of argument, but it's a franchise that if you make a Part 3 and it's good, you're going to do, I think, really, really well, money-wise and stuff. So that's also a reason. I know creativity should ultimately be like the number one reason, but you have these other factors. You really do. You have them as well, where how can they really let this franchise go like that, pass up all that money? You're making a TV show. You're stretching out 2 games across God only knows, 4 or 5 seasons, which I don't love that idea. That is, I think, the definition of kind of milking it. If you're going to do that, why not just make a 3rd game and then just keep the television show going, while you're at it? You're already doing it. So I don't know. To me, I just think that's a flat out lie. And it's not like we haven't been lied to before. In fact, it's kind of golden that he's the one saying it, and it's coming from The Last of Us. This is a franchise that's lied more than anything. They said we wouldn't play as Ellie. They were doing this to be secretive. I'm not saying it was malicious and that they were doing it with ill intent, but you go back to The Last of Us 1, they said you're not going to play as Ellie. Spoilers, you play as Ellie. Last of Us Part 2 was literally built on a lie, with the trailer with Joel being swapped in. So we've been lied to so much with this game franchise. Of course they're going to lie and say that there's not going to be a 3rd game. Again, I don't care. I mean, I do care, and we have talked about it, the opinion of the Last of Us franchise, The Last of Us 1 and 2. But again, I guess what I'm trying to stress here, I'm not trying to take it too seriously. Hopefully you guys won't take it too seriously. My main point is I just don't believe that. I think that's a flat out lie. I feel like he's just doing it to have people get off his back and maybe lower expectations, and then all of a sudden, they announce a 3rd game, which would not happen, by the way, for years and years and years. I mean, Ashley Johnson's going to be pushing 50 by the time Ellie is pushing like 25 in the game. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.